Hello everyone, this is Thomas Pepin NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin and let's play some NHL. So continuing the franchise mode series where I've taken over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are on season 9, episode 6. We just finished the playoffs for season 9 and we won our 6th Stanley Cup in the 9 seasons. Otherwise, 7, I think it's Prince of Wales, so getting to the finals. 7 times in those 9 years, President's Trophy, 8 seasons. So, pretty good performance, I would say. And now we are having a look. Well, we're starting the off season and having a look at what we're going to do with the team moving forward. So nothing else to say or do, I believe, other than move through the off season. Actually, I just wanted to double check that there. We stopped doing the scouting, and I just wanted to see the names of the players there briefly. Yeah. I don't think there's really any expected guys to retire. Well, I guess Cop there. That's probably it for us. Any of our coaches? Backer. So that is our goalie coach, I think. So this, I'm just putting it back to baseline. I leave it basically blank except for wanting to get rid of anything below a first and wanting to only pick up firsts. So basically it's just to stop them from offering trades because there's pretty much never a time where they're going to offer a trade that I want. So we should have already gotten rid of all our picks for this season, so we should be able to sim forward. We'll still go in, I guess, just to double check, but so that's that. just save at this point. Alright, so first we need to have a look at who we're gonna extend. So this guy we brought in for 1 year. Temporary. Sucks that we don't have our goalie coach anymore. That's going to be annoying. We're going to have to replace him. Now, with the assistant coach, oh yeah, so I was thinking about bringing in a defensive coach. And the reason is, what I've noticed is the defensemen don't seem to be be developing as well. So maybe I need to have one coach for each position. This is where I never got to test this before I started the series, so kind of testing as I go. So I think that's going to be the plan. And then since the goalie coach has to have a goalie specialty, then it would have to be the assistant coach would be the defensive coach. So as a result, we are getting rid of him. I should check that actually, player development or progress, or I forget exactly what it's called. Associate coach. Seven years. Do we want this guy again? He's willing to accept it. What do I do here? He's better than our assistant coach. Would he accept? So what I'm trying to think is, should I be looking elsewhere, or should I just go with him again? How old is our head coach? 56. 58, 56, 50. Hmm. Maybe I should be doing the same thing, one defense, one forwards, preferably one goalie, but that seems rare for the AHL. So maybe all forwards. Oh, wait, no. Two forwards and one D. We have this guy for 7 years. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. Would we have anybody? We wouldn't ever have anybody playing in the AHL. But I guess in this span of a season, you want good development. So, yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll release him. And we'll leave the rest as is. So theoretically, I would want to maybe bump up Schaefer to associate coach in the AHL. How old is Andrews? How has he developed? Not much. Anyways, so nothing really, I guess, to extend there. Okay, so that's it for scouts and coaches. I'll save there again. Oh, I'm supposed to do... these two things, because we're going to be hiring scouts and coaches. I don't know if it impacts anything if you leave it where it was, or if you have to put it as max to be able to spend to the max. I don't know. I just do it just in case. Okay, now... Now we're going to see if there's anybody we're going to be extending. 5 million, no chance. 12 and 19. 9 and 15. 22 and 19. Oh, he doesn't want to do two-way? Yeah, right. 42 and 46. He's almost certainly going to want one-way. He wants a two-way contract. No way. Let's sign him 2 years. See, it's funny, you had that garbage guy and then a better guy is willing to accept two-way. Him, we have no data, so we'll release. I think he was the MVP of the playoffs. Did we ever have him before? No. Does want two-way. Well, 3 years? Nah, let's just do 2. $12 and $19, no. $56 and $72. $35, $72. He wants a one-way, so no chance. No sample size. 5 and 19, not good enough. 7 and 19, no. 12 and 19, no. 13 and 19, no. He did quite well for us as a depth fourth liner, but he's going to want a one-way for sure, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. But yeah, 2.3, we're not spending that. $14 and $19 and you're a defenseman, that's pretty good. $7 and $19, no. Oh, qualify. We're going to trade you. $57 and $68. You're going to take a two-way? Even for 3 years? Sure. It's funny because these free agent guys we sign, essentially signing them is like a tryout. And then if they play well enough, they get to stay with the team. And then if they play well for the whole season, they get an extension. So there's no risk to us, tons to them. But yeah, it turns out pretty good. It should be everybody. Okay. What? Yeah, but you're an AHL player. I don't understand why you guys... What, do you just want 1 year? If you just want 1 year, then I mean, hey, it's up to you. But you guys don't... You're not asking for more. How am I supposed to know to offer you more if you don't ask for it? Okay, well, fine then, if you'll accept it. You guys don't make sense. You ask for a certain amount, I offer you that amount, and then you're like, you're not offering me enough. Alright, let's make sure we're not missing anybody. So that should be good. So now we can sim to the end of the re-sign phase. Stop changing this stuff on me. I don't want any of it. This one is surplus. Second, third, fourth, second, third, fourth. First. We'll save a duplicate just in case, because this is where it all gets complicated. So it's going to be interesting. We've got a whole bunch of people on relatively long-term contracts. Our team's starting to get stabilized in terms of like the core players. It's not fully set, and we don't know what's going to happen with the guys for extensions here. So that's what we're going to have a look at first. because then we'll know if we're going to trade these guys. So Judry wants 13 million, and we are never paying that high at this point in the career, because the contracts aren't worth that much yet. And Torelli, 11 million is not far off. 10 million is kind of the target. And when you take off 10%, it's basically 10 million, but he's not. I mean, he's good, obviously. And he's young. But he doesn't deserve that contract at this point. So, Judry and Torelli both leaving. Martin's accepted, I think it was a 3-year bridge contract, so we're willing to accept. So he's, what would he be worth technically? Actually, you know what? He's worth kind of our cap that we would spend, which is about 10 million. So if he's willing to accept around 10 million, we'll definitely give it to him. And he is. So it seems like this is going to be the optimal dollar figure for us to offer less and have it end up where we want. So 11.5 times 0.9 equals 10.35. So we're going to offer 10, and hopefully he goes for it. We're in no rush because it's, actually, you know what, we'll go just shy of 10. Actually, on that note, so I think I read somewhere that you can offer 80%, and this is still above that 80%, so I'm comfortable with this anyways, so. If we go up, it's too much. So this is like a second bridge in a way. If he wants something crazy after this, then we're just not keeping him. But if he wants around the same for his extension after that, then great, we'll probably keep him. So, what would this, actually, that's a good point. So he was making, I think it was 2.25. 9.975 plus 2.25 divided by, so on average he would have made like 6 million a year. So actually that's under his worth. So even if he asks for slightly more next time, I think we'll still do it, as long as it's not getting into like the crazy range. So I'll have to remember that. I think it shouldn't be a problem to remember. Uh, 3 years, 9,975. Sure. Lindblom, we're going to be trading. We're definitely not extending. Anybody else? Beckman, how did you do? 60 points. He's willing to accept a two-way contract. Wow. For sure we'll do that. McKinnon, we're going to trade 35 in 62. So him also, if he'll do two-way. And because of his age, we're going to try to lock him up for 3 years. So we'll see if he'll accept. 3 years, two-way. And Virgilio, he's our depth guy. He's asking for too much. I mean, it's not crazy money, and he's still young, but we won't. If it was like $1 million something, it would have been fine. Or like even low twos. But it's too far away from what he's worth. So we might do it, but we'll see kind of what the landscape is like after we sign people, trade people, and all that. So that should be it for extensions. Let's double check for goalies are good. Goalies are good. We're not offering Trelli, Judry, or Lindblom. Save where we're at. Okay, so now to go through my procedure, my reference document here, to make sure I cover all my, wrong thing, steps I'm supposed to do. I already did budgets. Coaches. Okay, so now let's go have a look at coaches. Or wait, before we do coaches, let's do scouts because that's easier. So if it's A anything, we always go for it. Doesn't really matter what they're good at. How is... So we have a couple... Oh. Yeah, they're not very strong there. That one is that. Yeah, this one neither. This guy is strong. So yes, we're going to need somebody that can do extra liga. Not necessarily that they're going to go there, but at least capable. And it looks like we're not going to have anybody. Oh, they're not in order. That changes things. But it doesn't. Okay, so yeah, so we're not going to be too strong with our European scouting, but I don't think it's critical anyways. All right, so we got 2 scouts. One sec here. So I'm just going to update the document so I start with scouts, not coaches, because doing coaches is more time consuming and I'd rather get the easy thing done first. Okay, so we need a defensive coach and a goalie coach for the NHL at around $2 million apiece or less. We want somebody, actually coaching influence is most rare. $64 years old. My concern is they're going to retire. Oh, and they're asking for too much money. So we need a defensive coach that's not old. We could get away. Could we get away with a generalist? I don't. Oh, that's what I wanted to check. Progress reports. Because if the defensemen have been developing, then I actually don't really need to do anything. So he's gone up by 11. What's the story for forwards? 24. So it does seem, well, I wonder if it's maybe because we've double upped on forward coaches. Because noticeably, there's not much going on with defense. Whereas for forwards, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 were the same or better. So I think we will get a defensive coach as long as they fit in with our roster. And on that note, maybe we should do our trades first, because then we'll get a better gauge of their fit with the team, because it's the coach's fit with the team, not the players with the coach necessarily. The players with the coach, yes, but that's already established with our head coach. So Um, so on that note, I'm going to change the procedure again. Because trading is going to be more important. So this is the thing, like, as much as I've done very well, things aren't perfect. I'm still learning, and there's always ways to be better. So, okay. So we need to see first who was drafted that is good that we want to pick up. So they're going to be 18 or less years old. I think some people can be drafted at 19. So this guy we can't get because he's a European. And since we can't put him into junior to develop, then it's either he slots in right away or he doesn't play or he develops in the AHL, and that's just not good for players, in my opinion. Or for players to get for us to get the best value out of players, basically. So, for example, if this guy could play right away, then we'd want him, but he's below everybody at 80 overall, so it's a no. This guy's US, so he's low and he's US, so it's a no for him. There's 80 again. He is it USHL? The US Junior League, and they've gotten so much better over these years. It's been impressive that some good development happens there. Anyways, so he can't go to junior, so he's also a no. Who's this? I think in this case he's just not good enough, really. Could be something we revisit at some point, but seems unlikely. This guy's probably Russian. Yeah. Same story. 17 gives you an extra year development, but you'd want him to be like 76 at the lowest, maybe 78 overall for it to be worthwhile. He's European. Could be one of those guys we trade for eventually. You know what? I'm gonna write his name down. Did he have good fit with us though? Doesn't tell us. Because 17 years old, 78 overall, a defenseman, two-way is pretty rare. So I don't currently have this as a category, but I think because we're getting so deep, we might actually have players develop in the AHL in the next few years. Maybe not quite yet. We might be at the assets where we can, but yeah, so he'll be a maybe for now, but not urgent or even necessary. Who's this? They've already had a year, so that's a no. US, so he can't develop, so also a no. Unfortunately. This is where those junior players, man, do they ever have better value. Q, 78. It's not going to tell us his fit, is it? Whoops. So he's not even worth adding to a list. Who's this? There we go. So here's a junior guy. He's an offensive defenseman. Was 5th overall. I think he's one of the guys that stood out, and clearly he's worth going for. We don't know what his fit's going to be like, but he could. So best case, he'll fit with us. Worst case, he's a store of value. So because he's not quite ready for the NHL. I mean, he could play based on the overall of our 6th and 7th defensemen, but we would try to develop and make him overripe. So he's a guy we're going to go for. So we'll add him to the list. Was there anything else? No. Two-way defender. So he was drafted the previous year? I guess so. It's only 70 overall, though. That's not good enough. European, 78, 17 years old, offensive defenseman. Another guy we're going to add to the list. Oh, I think I made the category but didn't add the guy wherever he was. The other 17-year-old defenseman. Edmonton, that's what it is. Gunderson. Edmonton. So this is what the what's the best way to put it? Give me one sec to get back where we were. So what we have been doing is, if a guy is European and we can't make them overripe in junior, we're not going for them. But that's because we haven't had the assets to go for them. Now we kind of have the assets, so we can do it. The other thing is by owning them, we can then determine if we're able to negotiate a good contract with them versus trading for them to, like, on their last year of their entry level or something like that, and then figuring out if we can sign, extend them, whatever. So because we can actually trade for them, we might be doing that moving forward. So it's a slight change in the strategy just because of where we're at with our franchise and all that stuff. This guy's not far off. What was the league? Yeah. So another one that's worthy of consideration, but maybe at some point, not yet. Vorobiev, I think, was the first overall pick. Yeah. And so he's a great example. So he's Russian. Yeah. And so in theory, we shouldn't go for him, but because he's for 117 second thing, he's at 82 overall, which means he can play already. So he's actually somebody we want to pick up. Okay, and then who's this? Defenseman from the DEL. So just shy of what we would want, 75 overall. It's a bit low. We want like 76, 78, preferably 78. And so that's why we wrote down those other two guys. Who's this? WHL. He's got a lot going on. We're going to disregard that loyalty thing now. And he's 17. So actually this guy, like... So he was right in the middle, so 77. So the target's 78, but the fact that he can go to junior still for a number of years makes him worthwhile. And that's everybody. Any goalies? I'm assuming probably not. Man, they have a lot of goalies. So knows the answer about goalies. Okay, so now what else? Oh yeah, we need to figure out guys that haven't extended that we could target in a trade. So basically, if their salary expected is in our target range, so 10 million or less ish, and they're young, then we're going to go for them. That's a defenseman. That's one of the guys we got rid of, so I'm never going to spend 10 million on a defenseman. No way, no way. Who's this? Anything special about this guy? Bottom 6, penalty kill lines. Shoots right, which is rare. We haven't had that. Ooh, he's really good at shot blocking and stick checking. See, the problem is, though, is what he's asking for is 7.8 is a bit much. What are we currently paying for those types of players? Shevnikov, 5.7. So yeah, if he was around 5.7, I'd go for it, because that's where... Well, he's better than Kuzhevnikov for that stuff, but... that's what we'd be aiming at. Pick a Ryan. The other thing, so you can see from their X Factor things that they're not as poised to be big time players, so I would also be concerned about long-term fit. So like this guy is making 3.475, and he's that guy with 99s for puck skills. It's crazy. So there's just better alternatives out there. So as much as that guy was looking good, it's going to be a no in the end. Wherever he was. Doyle? Is that a different guy? Yeah, it was this guy. I don't know, it's still tempting though. Because a right shot is pretty rare. $7.8 though, that's just too much. His production wasn't bad. This one's a tough one. Because, yeah, that shot blocking, stick checking, defensive awareness, all that stuff is pretty rare. Ooh, what do we do? The other thing is maybe he's a better fit. So I'm going to put him on another list. Because now basically we're just optimizing the team. So this is where I'm going to contrast him with other alternatives. What years is he asking for? 4 years. Because maybe he's going to be an improvement on like a depth guy we currently have. So this is something I wasn't planning for at this point. Well, I just wasn't planning for in general. because yeah, we're getting into. We've got well, like last season, we had one too many players. I don't think it was bad in the end because then they can move up during injuries, which happen frequently. But yeah, we're at the point where we have so many people signed that now it's about getting the optimal mix. So, for example, basically the top probably 8 players would be offensive, or sorry, particularly offensive. And then from there, so ninth, so the third guy on the third line should be defensive. So basically, a defensive specialist, and this guy you would categorize as that, even though he's a playmaker. Shot blocking, stick checking, defensive awareness is all great, and he fits on our bottom 6 and all our penalty kill lines, and his personality assessment is good. So in all regards, he's probably a better fit than. So, for example, pick Orion, that guy that he didn't play well last year. He might be an improvement over him. So, like I said, it's not something I was thinking about, but now it is something I'm thinking about. So this guy, for example, doesn't have any standout skills. Cap hit is reasonable, but he's not going to be any better fit than anybody. This guy, first line, he can't play there. Penalty kill is great, but that means he's not going to really fit well on the line he's supposed to be on. So not optimal. I thought this guy did good in other seasons, didn't he? Yeah, so the previous season he was pretty good. And he missed time, so it's a bit misleading. Doesn't have a fit, so no dice. So this guy is a great example. He's got better pedigree in terms of like X Factor. He actually was a weird pick. Playmaker, can play bottom 6. His defensive stuff isn't bad. He's not asking for much money. Let's check this. So now I got to figure out what the target salary should be for each position, because the salary cap's gone up, so I don't know what it actually is. 95 divided by I think it's 21 players. You'd have 23, sorry, on your active roster. So 4.5. So he's basically at it, and you'd want it to be slightly lower. So I think he's a no. If he had better defensive skills, then it would be a yes, but he's not quite there. And if he was younger, I'd maybe consider him for one of the offensive spots, but not quite what we're looking for. I didn't miss anything, no. Decent defensive stuff, only does penalty kills. So I'm assuming he probably fits okay with our team, but just probably not as good as he should. Yeah, not really a good fit. The salary's fine. So his salary's good to be on one of the third or fourth lines, but he would need to be better defensively. His age is okay, actually. His overall is not that high. So anyways, just I think the balance isn't quite there. And this guy's all offensive. Not quite there. Decent mix of everything, but what's his salary? He's not a bad option. But he seems better suited for like the AHL or whatever, so I don't think he would need to be like his shot blocking, stick checking. If it was higher, I'd go for him. His face-offs were great, so it was tempting, but not quite there. Oops. Yeah, all offensive, not good enough. Again, all offensive. Oh, that's a defensive defenseman. Defensive skills aren't bad. I'd say close, but not quite. So another guy that's basically like an AHL in contrast to the rest of our guys. Offensive defensemen, those are super rare. Doesn't say that he fits, but like look at those puck skills, that's crazy. $23 old. His production's better than our guys. It'll depend on his trade value, so we're gonna at least have a look at him. See, this guy's a bit more like it. Bottom six. 23. $3.1 million. See, it doesn't say that he fits on the penalty kill. If it did, I would go for him 100%, but so it's telling me that there's something missing, and this is where I think the coach takes priority over the player, because we're keeping the coach and we would need a player that fits for both. See, this guy, same thing. If his defensive awareness was higher, and he's asking for too much money. Defensive defenseman. Performance isn't bad. Two-way defender. Good poise. Right shot, which we don't have at the moment. 80 overall. Reasonable salary expectation. He's on the list. Another one pretty close. Salary expectation is good. Just not quite there. Okay, so that's the end of the guys we're checking. Let's just make sure we didn't miss anybody. We did see this one. Oh yeah, we did see that one. It's funny, my short-term memory is good some ways and bad other ways. Like, I'm recognizing all the names here. But if I had to, like, say the names, there's no way I could do it. So if you haven't noticed, basically, I've been looking at 24 and younger, and then with all the criteria that we've seen before. So that one guy, Doyle, is really... Is this the one? Yeah, it is. He's really intriguing, I guess. It's funny, sometimes you use a word and you're like, it sounds so lame. Ooh, this guy's really good. What was he asking for? 10. Yeah, see, that's like no chance. Yeah, and this is where we've got all those crazy guys. Interesting maybe is a nicer way to, a word that I'd prefer to use, so I don't sound like I'm trying too hard. Okay, so now how to... Oh, the other thing is we're not keeping our franchise guy, so we need to see what alternatives we have. Gomez is a no. Stoner is the new guy. Who's this? No. So here we're looking for a high trade value guy at a good cap hit. Like they're spending 10 million per defenseman. 10, 10, and 13. That's ridiculous. Sulzer was a guy that we were considering before, but it doesn't say that he fits. And actually, on that subject, he is perfect for our defensive fit. It just doesn't say penalty kill though, and I think that matters. So if it did, I would go for him. If because it doesn't, then in theory he might not fit. In which case, I don't think it's worth getting him. And if it says he's a third line fit, then he's probably not going to fit so great with the rest, and he's supposed to be like a first or a second. Man, we really did miss out on Heischer. I could trade for him, but he's too old now, so it's not worth it. Nedved. He's a guy we've looked at before. He's like a fourth line fit. Yeah. He's got some good stuff, but Misa is a guy we've been thinking about a lot. Line 1. Puck skills are great. And see, the big reason I'm thinking about this guy is he signed an extension at 8.8 million. I don't know how long it was. I think it was something like 3 to 5 years. And so he signed at a reasonable cap hit, even though it says lacks loyalty. The fact that he has history as a reasonable negotiator makes me want to go for him. Because he could have asked for way, way more. So we're gonna... He might be the target with... what's our franchise guy? Anyways. Judry. See, he's been interesting. It's just that it says fourth line fit, so that's a no. Is this a guy we had? I don't think so. I think it's a guy we thought about getting, though. Brendan Moore wants too much. McDavid's too old now, which is kind of funny to say. Bottom 6, all penalty kill. What was his salary? See, if he's going to play that, he's got to be making way less. So he'd be a great fit. It's just not at that cap hit. Man, the amount of money that they're spending on some players is just crazy. See, bottom 6, but it has to say penalty kill too for me to go for him. And again, 9.2 at that position, there's no chance. Who's this? Top 6 in penalty kill. 41 goals? How many years left? 3 years at $6 million. Wow. So this is another one like Doyle. I think he could be a better fit than somebody we currently have. So it's Chubisov, Islanders. So he's great, but he's not going to play on our third line. That's the problem. And it's 1 year left, so. It's funny, some of the guys we got rid of and how much they're asking. Well, how much they're getting paid now. It's ridiculous. Kern was defensive, yeah. It's funny, I'm starting to get more used to these computer-generated names than NHLers. It's a new world. If he had line fit, we could have considered him. So McKay's not looking so bad anymore. 4 years left. It says he doesn't fit. I can't remember how he did fit, so we'll just trust it. They have a lot of good players here. Backer. Doesn't fit. Was he scouted? He was scouted. Benson. Connor would be good, but he's too old. That's it. Okay, so we have our list of guys. Now, how do we prioritize? So the only guy that's expensive, both in terms of cap hit and trade value, is that Misa guy. And there was a second guy with Detroit, so we might do a package deal. We're still under the cap, even though we have to get rid of, what's his face? Lindblom. So Misa, and what was the other guy's name? Saren Hamo, or Hamo. I think it's Hamo. Is there anybody you want from us that we want to trade? So if I'm trading Judry, I think I need to get a team with a bunch of first round picks that are probably going to be worth it, but this team's pretty good, I think. Yeah, they're at least not bad. So what can we trade for those guys? Or maybe let's do the small guys first, because then we'll know about fits for everybody. And then, because some of the guys that we think that we would be keeping, we might not be keeping. So let's do that instead. So, Doyle is the guy we'll start with. I think it was Vegas. Yeah. Bottom 6 penalty kill lines. Says his personality is good. Well, I think it was 7 million was what he was asking for. $7.8. So is there somebody around the same value that fits less? So it's funny, our top 2 players were trading away. How funny. Him didn't fit well. He's really good defensively, though. How many years do we still have? 2. So he's basically one of our penalty kill guys, it looks like. Martins is one of our scorers. Whitmore, we're going to put back to junior still. Pikkarainen. Oh, he is good defensively. And offensively. So that's one third line guy. Yeah, his fit was third line. First line. He was first line. So first line, Bernier was third. So we've got third, first, third, first, third. Maybe we'll say second instead. Second. Second or first. I like the mix of what he can play. And he can play defensively pretty well. I forget what his line fits were. Between the two, I prefer Kozhevnikov. Because his poise was really good, and he did fantastic in the playoffs before he got hurt. So he might not be better than anybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He fits for number 9. So to play the third line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, minus Whitmore, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then what about Chubasov? He's got how many years left? 3 years, $6 million is fantastic. 85, 91, 85. And he produces way more. It says that he fits. So he for sure fits. So at the very least, we get him. So he'll be there. It's just so he'll fit better than somebody we currently have, probably. He definitely fits better than that Doyle guy. Because of cap hit and performance and ratings and stuff. So we're going to trade for him. There's nobody that we can use, is there? So in this case, we'll use picks if we can. Good. So let's see if we can do this with some second round picks. 2 seconds for him. Probably won't go, but I'm going to try to get more just in case. Oops. So at the very least, this is going to be just a step up, like an improvement on our roster. It might not be more than that, but we will see. Like, we're double the value already. This is ridiculous. I maybe could have done the 7th and it would have went through, but whatever. It's done. I'm okay with that. Save this. Okay, so Chubasov is off the list. Now, one thing I might have to do quickly is get rid of Lindblom because he's might get in the way of our cap. Was there someone somewhere we could go for? How much was that? Gunder something? Gunderson. What can we package? Guess maybe not. Oh, maybe we can with this. Just get back more. What, really? Man, this is a lot to give up. I mean, our first round pick from us is of no value to us, really, but still. Huh. Okay, well, in any case, we need to shed that salary, so I'm okay with that. So we have Gunderson from Edmonton now. What else? Oh, we should trade for that first overall pick now. Robiev. They want Torelli. So we can just do 1-for-1. Except we're going to need more back, I think, in the end. What can we trade? A fourth, third? No way. Fourth for a fourth? Wow, so we're going to have to give up more in this trade? That's crazy. All right. Oh, I don't know what his line fit is, though. He's got a good mix of skills, though. Playmaker. Shoots right, which is been something we've been needing. Face-offs are fine. So he's a good mix of pretty much everything across the board, everywhere. So he's probably going to fit, I'm guessing, second, third line, something like that. And on that note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we haven't even traded away Judry. Jeez. What are we going to do with him? And we can't upgrade to any players. Actually, that's not entirely true. Because that Misa guy, now he's not going to be an improvement on Judry, but we could, because now we have 10 guys, 10 forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kuzhevnikov's poise is just too good to get rid of. Caswell's got a great mix. Von Fersen, good poise. Chushkin, good poise, good mix. And to be honest, he mixes well on lines. Likewise with Von Fersen. Kenna, he's that awesome offensive guy. Fits well. Karainen, good defensively, fits well. Don't know yet. Mertens doesn't fit, but he scores, that's for sure. We can't really get rid of that for the cap hit too on top of it. Bernier is kind of an odd man out, almost. Maybe Misa's not even an improvement. Because I was thinking about him primarily from his trade value, but Bernier is good defensively. Let's go back and look. Is he better than our guys? I don't even think he is. Not defensively. Puck skills or the mix between the two, not even. Poise, not even. Skating's pretty good. Balance isn't good. Strength is bad, actually. And point production's no better. So, you know what? Misa's off the list. There's no point in going for him. So we, in the end, we might do Judry for like 5 first-round picks. In which case, we would want to choose the weakest team. Because we're not going for Misa now, though. We can go for that defenseman. Saren Hamo. And he's important for us to get because of he'll slot in right away to play. Is there anybody we're going to get rid of? Hronik. His contract's pretty cheap, though. And he played especially well in the playoffs. 17 points in 22 games. Oh, yeah, I have that goalie I can get rid of. I might be able to pull this off. Maybe even 1-for-1, to be honest. Let's see if we can get more, just in case. Because I want more time to decide on the rest of the guys. Cool. Okay, that's perfectly good for me. Oh, I'm supposed to be done this stream. Let's get a few more things done. There's that rookie defenseman in Ottawa we want to pick up. This guy. I don't know if Bradley has another year of eligibility. I don't think he does. Because is it at 20 or... I can't remember the rules. Let's research it. If a player who is signed to an entry-level contract and is 18 or 19 years old does not play in that number of games, blah, blah, blah. Is 19, no. So he's no longer junior eligible. And he doesn't fit with us well, so we can trade him. So him, and will you take those second round picks that we have? You will. I have a feeling we're gonna have to give up tons more, but I'm gonna still try anyways. Oops. So again, if he doesn't fit, at the very least, he's a store of value. And it's a better store of value than Bradley anyways, so. Okay, this might be an expensive one. But this is the whole purpose of those second round picks anyways, so. And especially right now, because we don't know who we're keeping and who we're trading, it's better to give up these picks than it is to give up players that we might regret trading. Man. 4 second round picks? It's getting a bit crazy. Huh. Now what? So is Bradley less or more value than a second round pick? 'Cause didn't we have one more No, we didn't have another second round pick. And in this case, it doesn't make sense to involve that Judry guy because maybe I shouldn't have done those other ones already. Too late now. Yeah, I can't trade Judry because the first round picks aren't going to be good value. Martin's line 1. Robiev. Somewhere. Pekarainen. Line 3 probably. McKenna. Line 1. Chushkin. Line 3. Line 2 maybe. Von Fersen. Line 2. So Martins, McKenna, Nichushkin, Von Fersen. Caswell on 1 or 2. Chuvasov, I think it said line 3. With Pekarainen. Shevnikov, I think was line 3. I mean, Bernier is good, but his line fit's really weak. And he's not like Martin's, where he's crazy good at scoring. It was only his first season. Wasn't very good. I don't feel good about trading away Bernier so early, but I don't know, he really doesn't fit. Defensively though, man, is he good. Ah. I still don't know. See, the thing is there was another guy here, Booze, we know for sure we're not going with. So why don't I just involve him? I didn't really want to get rid of this guy, but I mean, I was going to eventually, so rather that than get rid of a guy I don't know for sure if I want to get rid of at all, so. And this one should be, yeah, I was going to say it should be a lot easier to pull off, so. Yeah, again, didn't want to get rid of that guy yet, but whatever. Basically, we just moved 1 year into the future, at the very least, in terms of trade value. So that guy's done. So basically what I want to accomplish before I finish here is we've got one guy in San Jose that I want to pick up. A Seguin. And what are we trading here? Okay, that one's done, and oh shoot. There was something else I needed to do at the same time. So this technically is cheating, but I think this is where I was. Yeah, I was going to say technically it's cheating to go back to the previous save, but I forgot to do the two trades at once and whatever. So it was Seguin and Johnston. There we go. So that's what I wanted to have done. Because, yeah, what reminded me is I looked at these other two guys from Vegas and the fact that there was two guys, and then I noticed again, oh, there was a second guy in San Jose I was supposed to get. And I always lose so much in my trades that I might as well, go back to the save point. It's only fair. Okay, so Doyle from Vegas, we decided he was no improvement. He could play on the fourth line, and I'd be okay with that. Oh, but he's asking for $7 million. So maybe not. And then Law was the other guy. Power forward. He'd more be a store of value than anything, but he could turn into a player for us. So basically the question is Doyle worth it? Doyle is not an improvement on Bernier. Law won't become an improvement. Is Law worthwhile by himself? He's kind of good at everything. And then would we pick up what's his face? How good is their team otherwise? Because this could be a Judry thing. They're not very good. If they want Judry, then this might be an interesting one. So we could do Judry for Doyle, Law. Eichel. The only reason we're going for Eichel is to take trade value. What's their goaltending like? Not good, so that is good. And then if we went for two first-round picks, is that enough to get back? So it's nearly equal without those two guys. And we add them in some more. But we don't take this year's pick, we take the following year because they need to extend Judry and they won't be able to afford him. Okay, let's try this and work back. So we might do 3 firsts. Maybe not. Let's see what we can do. Oops. Huh. Interesting. Now, it's not something we needed to do, and not something necessarily I wanted to do, but I need to get rid of them at some point anyways. Law's gonna go to junior. And then Eichel we repurpose for a couple firsts. It's a garbage team like this. They have lots of cap space though. So preferably a garbage team with no cap space. Columbus isn't very good. Preferably worse than that. Florida. Minnesota's especially bad. So far, Montreal, I think, is the worst one. Yeah. Ooh, Nashville's not looking so hot. How much cap space? No. It's pretty close. Nashville still so far. Ooh, maybe Tampa. Columbus again's looking good. Because they have to sign 2 guys. Whoa, Edmonton too. They only have 11 million in cap space. Do they want? They don't want Eichel. Okay. If they did, then I would have for sure. So far, I think it's Columbus because of the cap space. Because they've got, ooh, Washington, maybe not. Yeah, so we're going to go with Columbus. They have those two RFA guys they can't afford. And I was debating about Clefbaum before. I don't want Eichel though. Oh, nobody wants Eichel. Oh, except for Dallas. Well, if that's the case, then it doesn't really matter where I trade. So Columbus was the most logical. They have a goalie. Nobody good. What I want to do is completely handicap them. So if I can take two of their good defensemen, no. Maybe not then. So who was the other team? Tampa was the best one, I think. Yeah. So of course the only reason I'm going for Joseph, not because I want him, but just to weaken the team. Because if I'm giving them a bunch of points, I need to take away a bunch of points. Or production, whatever you want to call it. Have anything else to trade, do I? Oh, Bradley. Oh, but he can play and he'll help him. Yeah, but you know what? It's not going to be enough help. Hronik we could do. And we actually might just trade right back for Hronik as well. Because then I can use all that small stuff to trade for him. Geez, still no way. Hmm. Maybe if we split it up, take Joseph out of it. I go in for 2 firsts. Still no, eh? Crazy. Okay. Now we need to pick up Do we need to pick up Joseph? Yes, we do. Oops. How many defensemen do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we don't want Virgilio. Ah, annoying. Ironic then. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this will work. Because the thing is you're going to get less total production from a defenseman than from a forward. And Hronik's older, so I think that also works. And the cap hit's about the same. I forget if I already said that, but I meant to say it if I didn't. Oops. No way. Okay, I was gonna say. Alright, so they just got Hronik, which gives them another defenseman, but they are not deep at all. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forwards of any use. Everybody's old, and probably their overall is going to dip by the start of the season. And likewise for their goalie. The only guy that was going to retain value was the guy we just got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 first round picks this season, and all of those can be converted to the following season where we have 2 already. That's wild. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 first round picks. Remember, we had nothing in terms of assets after the first, well, just before the start of the first season. Okay, now last thing before we end, before I forget, is to get rid of the guy we just picked up. So Nyquist we want, Bernier, Valcourt, Martins, Whitmore, Skuin, Joseph we need to get rid of. So hopefully we can package him for a first. Caswell, Chubasov, Kuzhevnikov, Block, Varu, Gunderson, Bradley, Doyle, Heward, Sarenheimel, Sege, Virgilio we also have to trade, I think. Well, yeah, we will, because we got the replacement. So this, we're going to try to get a first from someone else. That is no good. Washington? No. Calgary? We have all their firsts. We don't have next year's? Oh, for sure then we'll go for it. We don't have much else to trade, so we might not be able to pull this off. It'll be close. Oh yeah, we've got Virgilio too we can include. I think this will go through, because I don't think they're... I think they'd rather get better than have that first round pick, if I had to take a guess. Yeah, I guess not. Do we have anything else? Anything? Bradley. I don't think that improves them too much. The other thing I was just remembering, I could have traded for store of value things rather than first round picks. So like prospects. But these are pretty much lottery picks. No way. No way. I can't believe it. God. Well, since it's hard to trade for first, yes, store of value it is. Um, how long can you leave these guys unsigned? So what if I did that? I mean, it's not possible for that guy, but... Man. We traded with Vegas, so we can't do that. Montreal's our next best bet. Really? I didn't think that would go through. Oh, I'll take it. We just need to trade him somewhere. Why not here? Sweet. So we have a guy to throw to junior. How many years has he played? I guess it's his last year, we can send him there. That's it for all that stuff. Now, that being said, before I forget, oh, did I? No, I'm keeping him, I guess. I need to sign everybody I just got. Uh, 3.7 times 0.9 is 333. I can probably get away with this. Three point 575 times 0.9 is 321. We'll try that. $7.8. Oh, it goes down good. 7.9. 9 times 9 equals 711. $7.9 times 0.9 is 711. We'll try that. Okay, so 7.1 plus 3.2 is 1.3. 1.3 plus 10.3. So then it's 13.4. So with all these guys signed, we're still going to have about 13 million. If my math is right. So 2D, 1 forward. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 11 forwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6D. And Bradley, we're going to have to trade still. God, and everybody's going to be locked up long term. So we're going to have like our full roster locked up long term. Plus, we have all those picks. Holy jeez. We're in crazy shape. And we have cap space. So Martins is going to get extended. And that's going to take away like 8 million of our cap space. So we'll probably still have like 5 million. Man, that is so nuts. I mean, our team's kind of not as good technically, but it is. It's just as good. We're missing the high-end talent, but we've replaced it with just as good, basically. Um, you know what? Since I'm already on it, Bradley. Can we package to get a first-round pick somewhere? I doubt it. Nashville, you do have a couple seconds. Alright. Okay, so now we can finally go for a coach, but we're not going to do that just yet. I'm going to save a duplicate of this too. Cool. God. Oh, yeah, no, I already know that answer, but I can check these. So what I wanted to check is if I made a mistake in terms of trading for, as I've called it before, store of value. So basically, trading for prospects who have no chance of playing. Could have went for this guy. I think I got a better guy anyways. Yeah, guys that have no chance of playing, because then they can develop and they maintain their trade value versus first round picks can go down over time. So yeah, man. Well, we won't really see the full team. It's probably easiest to see our team from this screen. So we've got Bernier, Nichushkin, Chubasov, Martins, McKenna, Von Fersen, Caswell, Pickarainen, Kozhevnikov, then Doyle, Vorobiev, and someone else. And so, oh, that's just forwards. Defense, Nyquist, David, Valcor, Kiviharu, Sarahaimo, Sege. It's their top 6. And then we'll have these guys from junior. I guess that theoretically they could come up. And then so we don't even need to get depth guys. Hey, that's a new alternative actually. And then we're developing them as well. And it leaves us cap room. It's kind of a fortunate benefit of where we're at in terms of franchise growth, development, whatever you want to call it. So then basically, since we still have one roster spot for forwards, we can spend $13 million on a free agent, which could be, well, a lot of these guys are RFAs. Yager, I don't know if he is, because he's with New York, so he must still then. St. Louis, do they still have him? Yeah. Barzal, we could we could sign Barzal to play on our 4th line. Yeah, but he's 34, so we wouldn't want him. Savoy, Buffalo, do they still own him? Yeah. Konechny, we could. The 34 is what scares me. Because their overall is going to slip. Hoglander. Forsberg? There's not really anybody, to be honest. Gensel. Penalty kill lines. He's only good defensively. Doesn't do any of the defensive skills though. Haltonen. Hey, it's a guy I was thinking of before. Huh. We could get him and someone else. Krebs. He didn't fit though. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, not too many great options, but we don't really need much anyways, so yeah. So we'll leave it there, way longer than expected. If you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications. Channel homepage has upcoming streams of regular NHL content. You can see the schedule there. For things that can't schedule ahead of time, like franchise mode, that schedule's in the About section of the channel. Oh, sorry again for yesterday. Internet was out, couldn't do anything about it. be a pros whenever I have time or feel like it. Any comments, leave them in the comments, suggestions likewise, and we will see you guys next time. Whenever that is. I don't know when that is. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow, franchise mode again. Alright, okay, bye.